that they look forward to it every day, and it just means so much to me. So I hope you're in a good mood, that the show has just begun. We got a good one for you today. We're going to do a Reddit dump later. I got some good stuff to show you. We're going to go over that video that is that we talked about yesterday that I discovered over the weekend that I think should be, mandatory viewing for the world to make the world a better place. Sometimes you need to be reminded that you need to go the extra mile to, or just like step out of your comfort zone to help others, and that helping others feels so damn good. That was like the biggest realization to me in getting into kind of recovery language and like learning stuff in those kind of from those people that have been 12-step-y type stuff, is that when you do good for others and step outside yourself, it makes you feel better and less depressed and less anxious. And that always just seemed like something to me that's like, people just say that, so it encourages people to do more good. But it really does, because it's not so much about the act of doing good and being like, oh, I'm such a good person, I feel better. It's more just, it makes you forget that it makes you forget about your worries. So it's hard to remember, though, man, when you're having a bad day or really in your own stuff of like, my life is just falling apart. It's hard to pick up the phone or pick up some trash or pick up dog shit that your dog didn't make, or just do something that is completely selfless. But there's nothing worse. I really hate picking up cold dog shit. Worse than warm dog shit, because sometimes I do that. I do that where, Luigi will poop. I'll forget a bag. There's no leaves around. There's no, sometimes I just throw mulch on it and then cover it in mulch and then pick it up with the like a big scoop of mulch so I don't touch it. But there's nothing like that. So the other day I had to like use a stick and I only got half of it. And I was like, I had to leave half his shit there. And I was like, okay, so tomorrow I'm going to pick up someone else's shit. And boy, that's just not, as much as warm, gooey shit is gross, I've always said it's a little hand warmer, and I don't mind it. I just don't mind it. And I really don't like picking up like hardened old dog poop. Even though that's like, should be preferable. And aren't a lot of like rocks dinosaur poop or something like that? I always remember being like, ew, it's dino poop. I always remember Laura Dern in Jurassic Park, like digging in that big pile of shit, being like, she's sick or whatever. I don't know. Noah, have you seen Jurassic Park?
I have seen Jurassic Park a while ago.
Did you like it?
I mean, as a kid, I liked it. I don't know if I could suspend disbelief as an adult.
Yeah, I think you could, because that's the whole point of it, is that they like walk you through the science of like how it could be. It's not just like, it's I feel like it presents a scenario where you're like, I guess that could happen. What I was just, I guess it came out in 93. I want to say I'm pretty good about dates of the 90s. And
I bet you're right about it. Hold on, I'm going to check.
I was just like blown away by how visually impressive it was. I remember the scene where Laura Dern and they're seeing the dinosaurs for the first time, and they're in that like, doorless Jeep or whatever. Is 93?
Wow, I don't know how you do this. It is exactly 1993.
We should do more 90s, early 2000s trivia, songs, any pop culture, and I'll get you real close.
That's amazing.
I think that one I know just because it was like, Jurassic Park is such a huge deal cinematically, and I loved movies back in the day. I was voted most likely to be Siskel and Ebert by my 8th grade superlative, and I was like, which one? But I guess just both. But I just remember being like, I don't know, movies used to like stay with me, dude. Like they used to just, for days, I would just go to bed and I would daydream about like how magnificent it was, and I couldn't wait for it to come out on VHS. And I was moved by Jurassic Park, Lion King. But the scene in Jurassic Park that stays with me more than any is the brontosauruses feeding, and when they see them first and they like go and they lift up on their hind legs to like get the top of the tree. I think I liked that scene because I knew nothing bad was going to happen, because the music is like it was just like safe music where you're like, okay, I'm music. And whenever you're like worried in a movie, it's because the music, it's not about anything else generally. Like music really gets you. I don't notice it so much of the time because it's so deliberately, but like subconsciously tells you how to feel so much of the time. But yeah, I was just blown away. And, she gets out of the car and she like takes off her sunglasses like slowly. And it's just like, that's like one of my favorite scenes when she takes off her sunglasses in amazement. That's how I felt watching that scene. And I was obsessed. I was just like, I can't believe, like, it looked so real. It still holds up too. Like, that's the thing about Jurassic Park that's cool. The CGI, like, actually I think it'd be pretty impressive even now. And then The Lion King, I just like, again, the magnitude of the animals. Like, I remember what was there was some big stomping animal and Simba's like dodging it as he's singing. And I just was like, oh my God, they're so big. Like, I don't know. There's something about big things that really blow my mind. I was obsessed with blue whales and 9/11, like the magnitude of 9/11, like the bigness of 9/11. Like, I was listening to a Sam Harris podcast about it. Like, Andrew doesn't like know anything about, like, not that he doesn't know anything about 9/11, but he doesn't like, I just don't understand people that aren't like obsessed with 9/11. Like, it is the most insane thing that has ever happened. We've never seen a 747 crash before, like into something. There's no like footage of that ever. That's why everyone thought it was like a Cessna. No one had seen a passenger jet fly into something. And the importance really of the second jet was like, that's when we knew the second plane was when everything really fucking went off the rails, because that's when it was a deliberate thing. Everyone else thought it was like an accident at first. That's why everyone goes, why didn't they evacuate the, whatever tower was hit second? I don't know. Like, I know so many things about 9/11 except the tower directions, because I'm bad with directions. But the second tower to be hit, none of those people evacuated. Like, so many didn't evacuate because they just thought it was an accident. And Andrew last night was like, why wouldn't you evacuate? It's like, because why would you think you're gonna, like, just because your twin gets hit by a car, why would you think that you're going to get hit by a car accidentally? That's the same kind of logic. And I think in hindsight, so much of us can be like, I would have done this. It's like, you don't know what you would do. You don't know what you would do. Grief is fascinating. And I've been really lucky to not have like a lot of loss in my life, but we all will. And it's interesting. There was a psychologist or psychiatrist or something that was talking about how when a family loses someone and they all have to help each other, there's a mountain of grief and they all are at the top, and it's like there's a blizzard and they are out of food and they all have to like get down the mountain in their own way. They can't really help each other. Like, they have to, if you help someone else, you're not going to help yourself. Like, you might help someone, cross this crevasse, whatever a word is that's up on the mountain. But then you're still on the other side of it, and maybe you've helped them, but you're not. Everyone's on their own, kind of. And that's why you got to get outside help that people aren't grieving. But then so this woman that did the article presented that kind of analogy to another person that works a lot in grief. And she said, what do you think about this mountain analogy that everyone has to get down on their own? And she said, or everyone gets down on their own time, And the woman goes, that's not true, because the truth of the matter is many people don't make it down the mountain. Like, some people just die of grief. Like, it stays with them forever. And it made me so sad. And it made me think about that video I watched the other day of the dog crying because its dead dog friend was there. And it would animals grieving, and then reading about how if you put down an animal, you should bring it back home for your other animals to see, so that they understand that it's gone and that it's not just like hiding. Because there was this Reddit thread of this dog crying about a dead dog. And I thought I talked about it in the podcast, but I just realized I was talking about it with friends. And in the comments, they were like, animals need to see what the animal's going through in this video is like necessary, because otherwise they just don't know what happened to the animal and they don't understand it died. They need to like see the body. And as impossible as that might be sometimes to like bring a dead animal home, like there's something like, there were stories that people were sharing of like, my dog couldn't even walk, at the end of its life, but it was still like crawling around looking for its dog friend that, that we had to put down 5 years before. It like never gave up looking. It was like, oh my God. Yeah. So I don't know, man, I've had a couple losses in my life that were like, that I just didn't want to feel, because I was just like, it's just, I don't deserve to feel it. I didn't know that person well enough. That would be ridiculous to cry that hard over someone. But when the feelings come up now, I just put on a good sad song and work through them. Like we talked about yesterday, getting high off your own supply. Noah, you reached out to me later. You liked that.
Yeah.
You said to me,
I couldn't relate to it.
You couldn't relate to it. Tell me about that.
So I'm not a person who doesn't feel my feelings. I just don't talk about them. So I don't know what it's like to not feel them. And I was very curious about that. And I was curious to learn more about how, I guess how you go through it now.
Yeah, I don't even know, because it's almost like I don't know what they feel like, because that's trying to, like, a blind person trying to explain color. Like, I don't know what I'm not doing. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what I'm not feeling. Like, I know what sadness is, and I know what, like, heartbreak or guilt or, I know the feeling of wanting something I can't have or being sorry for myself, but those are always overcome by the feeling of shame of, like, you shouldn't be feeling this way. Okay. So, like,
so like
when people tell me that they cry, so how do you feel your feelings if you don't talk about them? How do you feel them? Like, what does it look like for you? Let's say if you're sad or, like, feeling, let's say sad.
If I'm sad, I just kind of go through it. If I need to cry, I'll cry now.
Do you cry alone, or do you need to, like, talk to someone about it to cry? Like, it'll just come out?
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at talking about it because I know that it could help, but I usually just try to go through it alone.
Do you go in, like, a room alone? Do you go in the bathroom? Do you go in the shower? Like, what does it look like when you go cry alone? In your car?
Car is a good place. Bathroom is a good place. As a kid, I used to cry in the bathroom a lot just because it was a way to just have privacy.
Do you cry, like, in silence? Do you need a song to get you there? Like, I really do feel like I need... You just, like, think about it. You just think about the thing that's making you sad and, like, go into it.
Yeah, I think, like, the most recent example was, just, like, mourning the loss of my dog. So I'll just... Okay, I used to just say, all right, well, it's time to move on. Just don't allow yourself to cry. Just stop looking at the pictures, or, like, avoid looking at the pictures. But I won't avoid it now. I'll just look at them, and if I get that gulp and it's like, okay, I'm about to cry, I just do it.
Yeah. No, I can do that sometimes. I don't know. I think I have to, like, talk about it, and I can't talk to alone.
Okay.
So it always has to be with someone to talk about it that will get me to cry. But then as soon as I start getting verklempt, I feel bad that the person has to, like, witness this and, like, suddenly come to my rescue, or, like, they're like, oh my God, she's crying. Oh, what do I do? Like, there's, like, some kind of panic in them of either I don't want to be here. I mean, I've talked about this before. Either they don't want to be there, or they, like, have to now stay longer and comfort me. And I just don't want anyone to do. It's like, like looking at someone on stage, they have to laugh. And I just don't want to earn people's sympathy by, I feel like it's a trick to get love and, like, or to get attention. Like, I feel like even though it's not a trick, it's like that's a sign that you need extra care from your friends and loved ones. Like, what's wrong with that? I don't know. Because I don't want to be a burden.
Even if it's a close friend and in that conversation, they're very welcoming of you just saying or doing whatever you need to do to feel better. Do you remember when you called me and you cried for a reason that we won't say? Did that help you feel better going through that sadness and just...
Yes. I think that, it always feels better afterwards. It feels like, after you come, like, it's just like, for me at least, after I just feel like, oh, I can go to sleep now. And it, like, you get over it. But, like, that was when I was in Cayman, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah. And before I reached out to you, I tried to talk to Andrew. Andrew really wasn't having it. He just couldn't. I think he started biting his nails, like, as I was getting anxious, and I was like, I can't. He doesn't want to be here for this. And then I tried to call Robin, and because she was more privy to the situation that was happening around that, and she was busy. And then I was just like, Noah's always there for me. She is, like, such a calming force. I know that I haven't felt too much of a burden to her lately. So I called you. And yeah, that was really helpful. And I didn't feel bad, but like in Tulum when we were all about to go to dinner on our last night and I was just having a bad moment and I needed to cry, everyone like came to my room, but everyone was like hungry, want to go to dinner. Everyone's like dressed up and cute. And I'm just like, like it just felt like, God, shut up. Everyone wants to go. But I just kind of didn't care because it was so painful that I was so selfish. Like sometimes my pain makes me selfish that I don't care.
Yes. So I'm wondering, in this new getting high off your own supply, are you going to try to go through those feelings without calling someone and testing to see if you could do it on your own?
Yes. Yeah, like yesterday I was driving to my sister's house to go get my dogs, and the air conditioning on from my mom's car was like, sometimes wind makes my eyes water. And it was like lube, like a synthetic thing you bring into the bedroom to what's it called? Emulate, to be like what your wetness should be. So you feel like that can't make me wet, but sometimes lube does make you wet because it's like, oh, it shows me what that feels like in my eyes or in my vagina to be wet. And then it reminds my vagina like, oh, make more of this. So it's not even porn. It's like, it's actually bringing something synthetic in to cause the tears. And honestly, that gets me there because I'll be like, I'm already crying. And then I put on a sad song. And then I just like cried. And I didn't even know what I was crying about. I was just like, there were just feelings coming up. And I faked it. I tried to fake crying until it would happen. And a little bit came out. But then I was like, oh no, if I show up there and like my eyes are teary, my mom's going to be like, what are you crying about? And I'll go, oh, I'm just sad because I'm going through like someone in my life disappointed me and I had hope about this person and now I feel like the hope is gone and I'm just sad about a boy. And she'll be like, oh God, this is just, I don't want, like, she won't be like, you're ridiculous for feeling sad. She'll just be like, ah. And then they won't ask me about it and I'll just feel like mad that they didn't ask me about it, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to like clear up my face. I didn't want my face to be puffy and red to be in front of my parents, not because they would have shamed me about it, but because they wouldn't have done what I wanted, which is like ask me about it and like talk about it. Because it just makes them too uncomfortable for me to have feelings. And I think that's probably why I get nervous when people get anxious when I cry, is because my parents probably didn't know what to do with me when I cried, because it just seems like, what the fuck do you do? And then it was so cute because Poppy was crying. My niece, we went over there and she was doing this thing where she was holding onto the side of the couch and just jumping up and down like it was a trampoline. But she jumped too far and she went over and her head like fell on the table next to the couch. Aww. And then she toppled over and knocked over a lamp. She was totally safe, but it's our reaction scared her. And then, my mom's just like, that's why you don't jump on the couch, Poppy, you don't jump. And I was just like, and then she came over to me because I was just like, she was getting upset because she was embarrassed, but she didn't know how to really, because she was having so much fun. And then she was embarrassed because it just got out of hand, like she tripped almost. And that feeling of like being sad because you're so embarrassed. And then she came over to me because I was just kind of like not saying anything and just going like, and she came over to me and I go, I've bumped my head so many times on things. It's just, you're trying to have fun and then you bump your head. And she just like fell in my arms and like just like wanted to lay there because I wasn't pitying her. I was just like relating and I was like, it sucks. Oh no. And it was just, it's nice to give that back, the thing that I want so badly. And maybe Poppy will be there for me someday when I need to cry, because she's learned from me and from my sister, who's said beautiful examples of never making their kids feel bad about anything they cry about. Which I don't know where they got that from. Let's bring in someone I'm not comfortable crying in front of. Andrew!
This past year has shown us that without your health, you have nothing. If you're not well, you can't work, look after yourself, or take care of your family. You can't enjoy the life you worked so hard to build. That's why you need to prioritize taking care of your long-term health today, before it goes from good to bad to worse. So invest in your long-term health with Forward. Forward is intelligent medicine with a personal touch. Their doctors are dedicated to catching top killers like cancer and heart disease early, before it's too late. And catching them early could save you tens of thousands of dollars in the long run. Everyone's health history is different, which is why Forward doctors personalize a health plan with you. based on your genetics, lifestyle, and biometrics to achieve long-term results and ensure nothing gets missed. It's time to invest in a doctor that's invested in you. Go to GoForward.com today to protect your future health. That's GoForward.com. GoForward.com.
Hi, it's Bethany Frankel, and on my podcast, Just Be with Bethany Frankel, I talk to people who have had non-traditional routes to get where they are. Each episode, you'll hear from disruptors like Kelly Ripa.
Nobody handed me anything, and I fought really hard for everything I had.
Sammy Hagar.
I didn't realize I was really building a brand. No one told me that you're building a brand.
And so many more. Brought to you by St. Lucia. It is time for St. Lucia for a vacation. Yay! St. Lucia's COVID-certified hotels, resorts, and villas are offering incredible savings right now. Sail along 100 miles of coastline, savor local cuisine, soak in the famed mud baths at the Sulphur Springs, zip line through the rainforest, scuba dive, and more. Safety is a priority, and St. Lucia has COVID protocols in place so you can travel with confidence. St. Lucia. Let her inspire you. Visit stlucia.org.
What's going on? This is Ridiculous History. Who are we? Well, I'm Ben.
I'm Noel, and this episode is brought to you by Fruit of the Loom. We love Fruit of the Loom. We've officially become friends with the entire brand, the entire staff of Fruit of the Loom, and we love them so much that we did an entire episode about the history of underwear in partnership with them.
And we loved this episode so much that we found some best of moments from the brief history of underwear.
That was all you, Ben. Great wordplay there. Let's hear them. And then the ancient Romans were the least sexy name for an undergarment you're going to get in this whole show. I almost have a hard time pronouncing it, or at least I had to do a double take when I first read the word. I believe, Ben, it is subligaculum.
Yes.
Who came up with that?
Subligaculum. A Roman with a love of tongue twisters.
I suppose so. And it's sort of an advanced loincloth, right?
Yeah. You got a little more upper thigh coverage. It's kind of, think of them like short shorts. Now, folks, we know what you're thinking. That was pretty cool. Where do I hear more? I want more than just the moments. I want all of the moments.
You can have it all. It's true. All you got to do is go to the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or anywhere on the internet where podcasts are found and look up Ridiculous History, the brief history of underwear. I think you're going to love it.
Hi, everyone. Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hey, Andrew.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning down here.
Hey, we got a package from a fan. I don't know how they got our address. I thought it might be. Well, I opened it up because I thought it wasn't labeled. Like sometimes when I get a package that has no or a obscure return address that just seems like a shipping center, I think it's a sex toy because everything is shipped discreetly from these companies. You know.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of stuff coming. From
Nikki's going to get the package. She's coming back. She's sitting back down.
I just got a bunch of I made an order on Bellessa, which is this company that has given me a lot of free stuff in the past. And Bellessa is they call themselves the Netflix of porn, but it's all like female produced porn, and I love it. I do a subscription to their site, but they also have a sex store or like sex toy shop. And they've reached out to me. I've done their podcast called Balls Deep, which is so funny. These two girls, hilarious comics, host it. But anyway, they've given me so much free stuff over the years, and I've done a poor job of promoting them. So the other day I placed an order, and I knew that they would give me it for free, but I just was like, they deserve my money. So I spent like $400, $500 on new stuff. And this bitch that runs the company, and I say that with love, wrote me and goes, no, your money's not good here. Like, she saw the order come through and was like, no. So she sent me it all for free. It was so nice. So shout out to Bellessa and their, I'll let you know
their
the kind
packaging. It looks like how I would.
This isn't Bellessa.
Oh.
I thought it was.
I was like looking at that. I was like, that's how I wrap presents on Hanukkah. Just
so yeah, cardboard box arrived.
Yeah.
This is from one of our besties actually, and I just wanted to share it with you. They sent this is a pot holder that they sent. Okay, and it says there's a quote on it. It says, what does it say, Andrew?
You could pull the rack out and make it easier. Oh, you son of a bitch.
That's awesome.
This is based on the pizza incident with me and Andrew. It says on it, you could pull the rack out and make it easier. And the eyes are dotted with hearts. Love it. And then we got another pot holder.
Oh my God.
That says,
I'll get
it. Which is Andrew's response.
We should hold these up like a game, you know?
Yes. And then we got, I got an air freshener that says, do-it-yourself air freshener. Add your favorite perfume, cologne, or essential oils. And it has a picture of Taylor Swift on it. And then on the other side, it's the picture of Marion that looks exactly like the Taylor Swift picture.
Oh, these are so thoughtful, man.
And then look at all these shirts she made me. She made me Taylor Swift shirts. This is one of a poster I have in my bedroom.
Wow. It's tie-dye.
She did another one.
She might have made the tie-dye herself, probably.
Tie-dye pink. There's another one of her on the Red tour. And then another one. I mean, I'm going to wear these all on the podcast when we have the video up. Another one of her, the Lover concert that she did. She made a K shirt. K. There's a shirt that says K on it. And then a tank top that says K on it. Oh, no, this one is good. She did a Simone Biles, Quitting. And it says it's Simone Biles looking serious and like over it. It says quitting when you have the courage to put your needs over your ego.
And here I thought this might be a Unabomber situation.
And then a Taylor Swift mug that she got me. I mean, or he or she or they. Let me read the note. It says, thank you so much for, Nikki, first, thank you so much for everything you do. I've been a bestie since You Up. You are part of my morning ritual, and I listen to you while I get ready for work. When You Up ended, I was truly devastated and missed you so much. I'm so glad you're back. You are more than a podcast to me, and I think you are just perfectly unperfect, and I wouldn't want you any other way. Sometimes I write you on IG knowing you won't even see it, but it's more of a diary for me. I love that. Screw all the haters. You should be proud of who you are because we are. Never stop being you, please. Good days, bad days. I want it all. I'm sorry I didn't know your size, so there's a variation in here, but hey, everyone needs some big PJ shirts, right? LOL. Your favorite bestie, Sky Taylor Douglas. Thank you so much, Sky Taylor Douglas, for these
I like that name. It's
amazing
like a
presents.
Father name.
Yeah.
Any three name like that, I really love.
Yeah. What you're Andrew Todd, Colin.
Andrew Todd. I hate the name. I was almost named Todd, and that I would.
Todd's a definite like Chad name.
Yeah, it's not good. I met one guy from the
Todd
Midwest, and he's like
Toddrick.
Toddler.
Maybe it would fit you then. Yeah. You're such a Todd.
Well, call me by my full name if you're gonna say it.
Andrew Toddler Colin is so funny that you were named after
Toddler the Fourth. I met a guy from the Midwest one time. He goes, your middle name's Tad? I'm Tad. I'm like, no, it's Todd.
Yeah.
He goes, no, yeah, I'm Tad. So in the Midwest, they say Tad.
Yeah, we say Highway Farty Far instead of 44. Highway Farty. That's like the St. Louis thing. There's two St. Louis things.
Okay, what is it?
Where'd you go to high school? That's so that we all.
Okay, let's go through these high schools and what does it mean? Like top 3 high schools in St. Louis, and what does it mean about you? And which one did you go to?
I went to Kirkwood. That means, man, your parents are probably liberal and you're not religious, and you probably you're not extremely wealthy, but you could like upper middle class.
Okay.
If you're a white person that went to Kirkwood.
I like rich people that send their kids to public
honestly.
schools. Like they're gonna learn the real world.
Yeah, right. I mean, I loved thank God I didn't go to a private school. But who knows? I would have had a good experience anywhere.
What's the number one school you could say you're from that you went to in St. Louis where everyone's like, ooh?
For girls, like Villa, Viz, MICDS. That's like your parents have a lot of money. Because it costs a lot of money to go there.
I guess I guess it's a thing of conversation because people stay in St. It's like a big city that
I don't understand why everyone doesn't do that because for me, I always thought it was about, do you know people I know? Like, who do we both know in common? Because obviously you know people you went to high school with. And it's very segregated by high school. Like, you don't hang out with people at other high schools. Like, I lived, there's people I'm meeting now who lived blocks away from me, but I would have never known them because they went to private school and I went to public school. We didn't commingle.
Maybe a lot of people move back to St. Louis or just don't leave St. Louis. It's like if I stayed in my small town of Vero, it'd be like, did you go to the public school or the private school? But
no, you guys don't do that.
$1 million, if you stay there, if you live there.
I've been to towns and people don't, whenever I go like, oh, if I meet two people and they're both from Charlotte, let's say we're in New York and I go, he's from Charlotte. They go, oh my God, cool. And they don't ask what high school. I go, why don't you ask what high school? You both are the same age.
I do that if we were in Orlando. This guy went to First Academy, and we played against him in football.
Okay, so
and
it's
we
a
had
football thing for you.
Oh, you're yellow and blue, and he's like, I am yellow and blue, and that guy's gonna love me forever.
I don't even know why I asked though, because I don't know anyone from other high schools. But the joke is that's what St. Louis is at. St. Louisans ask is where'd you go to high school? But what it really is about is how much money did your parents make?
Yeah.
Like what? That's really what you're asking with that question, which is disgusting. But St. Louis is very elitist, very.
It's like, what kind of car do you drive?
Us and them, yeah.
But more subtle.
Yeah, what kind of car did your parents buy you when you turned 16? And like mine was a Mercedes 1976 Mercedes 300D. It was awesome. We called
It's
it
so
the
funny
bastard.
if you lead with Mercedes, everyone's like, "What a spoiled bitch," and then you keep going. It's like, "Oh, she's
Diesel.
such a."
And it would
so
go like it was
every time.
And we called it the old bastard. Kirsten named it that. She was like, "It's the old bastard."
What's your dad doing getting diesel if he's Mr. Recycle?
I mean, it was just an old car that I don't know how my dad got a deal on it or something. I don't know, a diesel on it. And yeah, so that's, and then the other St. Louis thing, as I was saying, is that we say like farty far and like, yeah, park your car on farty far. Like it's like,
It's almost Boston.
Tad, yeah.
I got an Explorer for my first car, brand new sport, but my stepmother drove it. They bought it like 2 months before I could drive it, so every day I was on the bus, and literally almost every morning I saw her driving my car, like, woo, and I was like, this, and I'm so spoiled.
Did you get a new one?
Yeah, brand new.
What?
But she got it first, and every day, I was just, there were kids driving BMWs in my school.
I mean, that was not that impressive.
I mean, my dad was a doctor, but we were in, my school literally is like, millions and billionaires,
Mm-hmm.
like they drive so I was just like, I can't believe stepmom's driving my brand new Explorer.
Did you wear uniforms?
We had to wear a tie and button down.
Was it co-ed? Did you have girls too?
Yes.
I like the idea of a uniform. Noah, did you ever feel, I know that you were kind of like not into high school and wanted to just like get through it, but like I felt overwhelmed by wearing the coolest thing, looking like the girls that parents had money, like having Abercrombie and like, I remember a shirt for $36 was like so much fucking money to spend on a dumb Abercrombie shirt. But like, I always wanted uniforms so that we'd all just not have to deal with that. And it was based on your hair.
yeah.
Which I was also failing at. I looked like the Quaker Oats guy. Noah, what's your feeling on uniforms?
No, I mean, like I think in high school is when I started to like dress a little bit better, because I told you that all of my clothes until high school were basically like hand-me-downs from my cousins who were very well endowed in the chest area, and I was not. So in high school, I got to like dress up
Finally
like a little bit freaky.
Like what? Like what was your like favorite outfit?
I had these Rocket Dog flip-flops that had like a black...
That's your freaky?
No, it was like black, like fuzzy, like shiny, I don't know what it's called, strap. And I used to go to the Village and get like chains and like the spike bracelets and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so you were a little bit like alternative,
emo,
gothy.
Yeah, I wasn't gothy. I was just, I don't know, like a freak. Or trying to be a freak.
I
didn't
never
fit in with those
wanted
people
to get
either.
any attention for any. I didn't want anyone to be like, "What is she?" Like, I hated getting attention for my outfit. I wanted to blend in.
Me too. But my mom would buy my clothes, and like I had a tie that was like had heart, like a heart on. I don't know. She dressed me how she. I never picked out like I'd wear whatever. Like I really didn't. You would think wearing a tie every day. I just wanted to match, I guess.
Yeah.
But I never even thought about what I was wearing.
God, I wish I could go back to high school. I would just wear. Because in fifth grade, before I cared what people thought, I wore like shirts that said "Save the Rainforest" and like had animals on them because I loved animals. I had one shirt that had different kinds of bird poop all over it because I thought it was funny, and like I just liked like things that said "Save the World" and like I just liked animals, so I put animals on my shirt, and it's like then Leslie Lammers tells you one day you wear that shirt like every day, and I didn't. I just wore rainforest shirts every day.
But it would stick out if you wore a bird shit poop. So even if you wore it once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, she was just like, you seriously wear that shirt every day, and I was like, I kind of did. Like I remember it had that the tree frog that symbolized Save the Rainforest. It has those like big eyes, and it's kind of like on a leaf, and and now like all I want to wear is things that I like, so it attracts other people who. So if I wear a Taylor Swift shirt, I get to talk to the the lady at Schnucks, who's a little autistic, who's like, I like Taylor Swift. And then I get to have interactions with other people that like the things I like.
Well, I mean, maybe bring back the rainforest stuff. I remember in like third grade, before I went to private school, I was in public school, and I still remember this photo. I had a sleeveless shirt with a cool shark and an orange, like very loud, fun clothes. I was smiling ear to ear.
Yeah.
And then I went to private school. My parents got divorced, and I just started wearing dark clothes. Like,
you just lose so much of what you care about. That's why I loved when we were talking about guilty pleasures yesterday. Like, those things are so embarrassing to have that are different than the other people in your age group. Like, me liking Taylor Swift now is different than most 37-year-old women. There's a lot of me out there, but I don't come across them often. But if I cared about something that was that not acceptable at that age, I would have kept it inside. And so now it's so nice to just be like, yeah, I fucking like.
I'm trying to get back there.
I
bought these Hanes sweaters on Amazon. They're $9.
Yeah.
I bought them in 7 different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all I'm gonna wear on the pod. I have one for each week.
Great.
And then I'm done. And
amazing.
that's all.
How many times have I heard, and then I'm done? And then you're not done. Just stop this I'm done thing. I'll get it. Yep, he's holding up, I'll get it. Is that the sign of just stop saying what you're saying?
No.
I was reading yesterday on Reddit about ADD, and it reminded me of you. ADHD, ADD, and it was saying that, one of the things is just going through hobbies very quickly, going through obsessions, like getting really into something and being like getting all the equipment for it and then abandoning it within a week and then moving on to something else. And it reminded me of you, and you're like, I've heard so many times, like, I just got these 3 pants. I got these 3 sweatshirts. Got these 2 new shoes. I'm done. And I'm like, and it's almost like the grocery store thing where I go, I'm going to the grocery store. You want anything? And you're like, no, I'm full. And I'm like, it's not about now. It's about late. Like, you will need other clothes later. You're not done.
I might be done
Forever.
I mean, for a while. I've stuck with golf for 4 months now.
No, golf is a real thing.
Yeah.
For you.
No, I'm sure at one point I'll go, well, I got to start dressing more mature. But I don't I think I passed that. I look at what my dad wears. My dad wears, like, Yeehaw Junction, like, button down. They're like the toll booth shirts.
Yeah.
Like, he dresses like he wears Crocs. He just doesn't give a shit.
Comfort, man. I mean,
that's
the
all
older
I care,
you get,
honestly.
just comfort.
But there's something about saying just wearing comfort where you go, you're accepting that you're old in a way. So I think there's like a balance of like, that's the fear, right?
What's your favorite thing a woman wears? Like your girlfriend, like what does she look best in when you're like, oh my God. Like,
I love a romper.
Guys love rompers. They fucking love why?
I don't know.
Chappelle?
Yeah.
Chappelle was wearing another denim romper the other night, and I was like, I literally want that romper. It was like a feminine romper.
I love a romper. I do feel bad that you have to take it off all the way to shit.
I didn't yesterday I was wearing one, the leopard one, or the snakeskin one. I went over to Poppy.
I didn't even notice I guess that is a romper. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went over to my sister's, and I didn't feel like unbuttoning it down to take it off to pee. So I pulled it to the side like a swimsuit and soaked it in urine, because when you pull it to the side, like, it just trickles like a cave wall. It doesn't come out like a stream. It just to the side.
You were wearing leopard like a cave woman. Wait, what? So you pull it to the side. When did it get on you? When you closed it up?
When I peed. No, when I peed, because the pee doesn't come out in like a direct. It's not like I have a penis that makes it just come out of a straight hole. It hits other things, and it like it spread. It's almost like God, I don't even know how to. Like when Jesus cries, like those.
It's like when you hold a hose at the end of a hose, with your thumb.
Yes, there's too much blocking it, and so it'll go on the sides, and you have to like really get your. It was just a little bit of a mess.
How quick did you realize this?
Well.
Was it enough piss where you were like,
I had already been sweating and stuff, and I was over there, so I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, I'll just change when I get home, and that's what I did. So it was fine. But it was a mistake.
That was your last. You were wearing that because you had no laundry, like you had all laundry.
I know, and it looked like I was so. Oh yeah, but I did laundry. It's still all in the dryer though. We're going to a concert tonight.
Yeah, Robert Earl Kane.
Yeah, I don't know any of him, but you're a fan, and.
Yeah, I became a fan of him. He's a big Texas singer-songwriter. I was introduced to him in college, freshman year, by this guy, Brian Vogel. And he I don't know, he liked him. And that one song, Party Goes On Forever, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's just
I think if I listen to his songs 3 times today.
Yeah, you would know him.
I'll know the lyrics better than you will. And you've heard it a million times. Like, you are not a lyric guy.
No, never been. I know the last word of every
What do you do at a concert? Like, what's your body going to do tonight? Like, are you going to sway to the music? Like, what do you do when you're listening to music and you have to stand? Bye, Luigi. He just jumped down. You got tired.
I know we're not drinking.
Yeah, what's going to happen? Like, that's kind of what I'm nervous about is, like, what do I do with my body? Because if I know the words, I'm, like, singing along, I'm dancing, and I, like, know when the beat's going to drop out, I can, like, but there's nothing worse than when you don't know it and everyone else, like, stops at this one point, but you're still going because you don't know that it drops out.
Yeah, you're like, this song was only 2 minutes, 30 seconds. But I like to find a nook sometimes, like, and with just my friends, and we people watch. And I kind of just can really take in the musician instead of like, I don't want to be in the front. I don't want to be stuck at all. Do you
never want to be in the front?
Never.
Oh, I love the front. Noah, are you a front? You're like a mosh pitter.
But I don't like being in the front row because I'm terrified that someone will put the microphone in my face, and then I'll just be like,
like Usher did to me at the iHeart Awards. Oh my God, that was so embarrassing.
I can't.
Yeah, that is terrifying. And you might go, if I surround myself with positive things, I'll gain prosperity. Like, honestly, Michelle Williams' solo in The Survivor sounds like someone put a mic in her face at a concert. That is how bad it is.
Yeah, I don't want to. I love an exit. I
love Jeff Tweedy making eye contact with me. I love touching Nelly Furtado. I love running my hands through Adam Duritz's dreadlocks. I love John Mayer possibly looking like I love being front and like I know that I don't know this, but I would imagine they get off on people being such fans that they like are singing their songs and they're mouthing the lyrics and like if I'm that fan, I want to show like how excited I am and I want to be up front.
But is it about the attention you're getting from them or you giving it to them?
No, it's like it's just being as close as I can to brilliance and to this thing that has brought me so much joy, and also like showing them like I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm like, I hope you see how much I fucking love you. And I want to say that tonight, though, I have a goal of just observing. This guy's been around forever, right? Live performing. I mean, he's in his 60s. He's been around.
Yeah.
I want to just, as someone who's looking into getting into singing, songwriting, and performing, I want to see what things I like about. I'm going to observe the performance and the stage presence and the stage banter and things like that.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll have really good banter. He's supposedly pretty funny, and yeah, he's gonna probably show you that less is more is what I'm thinking.
Harry Styles is coming tomorrow. I kind of want to find
I would go to that.
Jenny Lewis is opening for him.
What?
I know, dude. I kind of want to go.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to get tickets? Okay, if anyone in St. Louis can get us tickets to Harry Styles tomorrow in St. Louis, please hit us up. All right, let's get to the news.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I just keep watching him dance on stage.
I've got a girl crush. When he sings that song,
it's funny because it's like, would I go gay for him? It's like, no, he's way more feminine than 90% of women I've probably already fucked.
Right, I mean,
like
he's
it's
so
probably
hot.
less gay.
I met him once, and I did not think anything of him before I met him, and then in person, I was just like, oh my God, he is just beautiful. He made me realize I'm probably a lesbian.
How tall is he? Tall, right? He's like
I'm
6'1".
height blind. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you are height blind. I'm very height
And he
aware.
was like probably still growing at the point I met him. I met him in 2013. I think they were still young.
Oh yeah, he's a man now. He's gone through his like JT phase with that cross tattoo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, is that when JT became a man?
Yeah, when he got the cross tattoo on his shoulder, and every girl's like, "Oh, I'll fuck him now."
All
like
right.
it became. Like,
yeah.
All right, the news, baby.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
It's Tuesday, folks. Hope you're having all the swells, having a great time out there. At least I think it's Tuesday, but hey, it's Friday somewhere.
No, it's not.
It's someplace.
Some schizophrenics maybe think it's Friday.
What if it's only Friday in some person's mind? That's great.
Oh, what a good life.
Bruce, a disabled Kiwi parrot, lacking his upper bill, invented a way to preen himself by using pebbles grasped between his tongue and lower bill. His unique preening behavior appears to be deliberate innovation for self-care as a direct consequence of his disability.
Wow, that is impressive. This reminds me of The Octopus Teacher, if you guys haven't seen it.
Just
have you talked about that octopus? What that octopus was capable of. Oh, what a sweetie. A little bird he looks like he has an underbite with a bird. And he uses, I get what he's doing. He's using the rock. He uses his tongue almost as the top bill. And then he probably scoops the rock so that it tugs at his feathers, and what a sweetie.
And he uses a bunch of different objects, and
yeah,
that's
birds
like
are so intelligent.
That's like when animals start to use tools.
Yeah, it almost makes you go, why do we eat chickens? You know, it almost makes you think that maybe chickens deserve better lives than the ones we give them.
Yeah.
But you know, you like your eggs too much to that. But I like
don't
eggs.
Turn into chickens,
dude. Chickens are in hell because they make eggs.
Oh.
So
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, does it? And also,
but I always thought
baby chicks are murdered by the millions every year because they are not egg-laying hens.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, it actually the egg industry leads to a ton of.
But I didn't know that. That's all I'm saying.
Chicken
I didn't know. I thought I didn't know there were two different kind of eggs.
Right. Well, all you would have to do is maybe just go, what's bad about eating eggs, and then you would learn.
Farts.
That's a good point too.
Smelly farts.
Yeah.
This.
That's so sweet. I love when animals use tools. There was this other.
And preening is cleaning itself. I didn't know what that was either.
Yeah. Well, you don't even know what cleaning yourself is too.
Hey, I'll
you need to look up that part.
Preen off.
I'll get it. No, the octopus teacher. That was really interesting to me because this octopus, like. The guy that was studying him was learning things about him that he would go home and research and go, no one has any documentation of an animal doing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so animals are capable of things that we don't even know yet. And it's just so, it's
that
wild.
Octopus show, I felt emotions I haven't felt in a long time.
I honestly, I think that's a feeling that I have right here in my solar plexus that I can't let up. Like that octopus caused something in me to it's a brewing, and I don't want to release it because it will make everyone's life around me hell to like
sure. Why do I keep thinking of shit? But yes, I think
the way you can't watch that and argue that any animal doesn't have the capability to want comfort and is sweet. Like if an octopus can be so, if you can put so many feelings
Human
and emotions
emotions
into the way that, and it's undeniable. It's not even like you're doing the thing where it's, what is it called when you humanize an animal?
Personification.
I forget what it's called. It's not that, but it's
I think it's anthropomorph.
Yeah, it's
anthropomorphized. I don't know.
It's something about when you. It's just you're like projecting, like, oh, you're having no empathy because you're like, that animal is just like a human because it looks scared, so it must be scared. But it's like animals display different things, so you can't just assume. But you got to watch this because you realize it's this guy had an epiphany one day. He used to never have, like, this guy, the octopus teacher guy, he even said in it, he goes, I did not used to have a lot of empathy for animals. I just, like, I didn't care. Like, yeah, I knew that they were, like, cute and, like, he pretty much felt the way most people feel, like dogs and cats and bunnies and kittens and everything were like, oh my God. But he didn't extend it. And then something happened. He like marks the day where he was like, oh my God, like this just broke my brain. Like every animal is capable of this, of wanting to live, of like wanting to, not every animal. I think there's some like, single cell organisms that don't really have feelings. But I remember that day for me too of like, whoa, what just happened? Like my brain broke of like, I can't eat animals anymore. It's not like I don't want to. I can't. Like that is, and I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else, but there's a moment that you can have an awakening of sorts where you just realize you can't do it anymore because every animal, like even bugs, are like little.
The video that we were talking about yesterday with Michael, the flight attendant, helping Vinicio, the poor old man who had Alzheimer's, who went in his pants at the airport, and just helping his wife.
Too many eggs, probably.
Okay, so let's talk about that video. It's about 6 minutes long. It was on our story yesterday. We put it up. We told you at the end of the show to go watch it. It's from a A&E reality show called Airline, I believe, that would just follow the drama of working in the airline industry. And there is a story one day of a guy at LAX, an old man in his like probably late 80s who is wheelchair bound, and his wife, the sweet woman who is, his caretaker. And they're stalled at the gate, a Southwest flight. They've been kicked off the flight because he defecated in his pants. And they go, we got to call Mike. And Mike is just like walking like, at first I go, I don't like this guy's walk.
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
had a weird energy at first.
yeah, I go, I don't know that I'm gonna like this guy. And then this guy just handled this situation in a way that most people wouldn't. And I think most people would think they would handle it that way, but they wouldn't. It's like he not only makes this woman feel she's humiliated that her husband's pooped and she doesn't know what to do about it, and
it's happened before to her, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And he was
and they just want to go home to Albuquerque, and he's like, we're gonna get you home, we're gonna get you on another flight, don't you worry about that. And he goes, we got to get their luggage off the plane, and then he goes and he changes the man himself, and he puts
goes,
on
I'll
gloves.
put gloves on, I'll help you don't have to say sorry.
Yeah.
You don't have to say sorry. He goes, and then he related to her, which I think helps so much when someone's going through something of being like, my mom is sick. This is life. Oh, that was his quote. This is life, which
You are not alone.
You are not alone.
And he goes, this is life. And that just makes it like, that's what life is. Life is ugly. It's messy. Sometimes you got to put gloves on and wipe a guy's ass for $5.50 an hour. And yeah.
You just got to know that like that person doesn't want to be shitting their pants, or like all you have to do is go, do you think this person wanted this? Like, do you think they wanted to be in this scenario? Like, even yesterday I was over at my parents' house or at my sister's house, and my mom was talking about the 3 comedians who died, or the 3 comic adjacent. There's 1 comic and then 2 other people, and then Kate Quigley, a comedian. 4 people were like, 3 of them died from fentanyl and cocaine. They were all just like partying, and Kate Quigley, we don't even know what's going to happen with her. Thankfully, she survived. She is someone that I know and like am definitely pulling for. And first of all, it's got to be embarrassing that everyone now knows you've done coke and like you did fentanyl and you got a bad supply. And it's like, and my mom's goes, my parents are like, they need to prosecute the dealer. Like, they need to find who the dealer was and who did this. And I'm like, do you think the dealer wants to be dealing cocaine? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't.
I can't. I'm with your parents on this one.
Honestly, I don't think anyone deals. Yes, I understand if people deal drugs when they have other options, but I think our system is so broken that in order for some people to survive,
that's true.
That's the only way they're going to be able. You can't afford a 1-bedroom apartment on minimum wage. And if you're a single mom or a single dad that has 4 kids and you're trying to clothe them and feed them, and you could either go get a job at Walgreens.
Yeah, but what if it's a young punk that's like 20 years old who's just making money to buy a Maserati? Like,
well, I bet he has shitty parents. And do you think he didn't get enough love or support? And he probably goes to a shitty school because he was born into a shitty neighborhood. It's like
I agree.
No one wants to be these things. No one wants to be a bad person. I mean, I know this is like, where does it end? It doesn't end. I can extend empathy for Trump even, because he didn't choose his fucking awful brain, and he's a bad person. But like, he can't help it. He's just a terrible person, and he was born with that brain.
I just think if you knew fentanyl was in it, like if you're dealing coke, pure coke, people are having a good time, that's fine. But once you know that you're fucking putting fentanyl in it because it's cheaper, even though that some people might die, go fuck yourself.
I don't think that, where I said, I get what you're saying there. Like, the person that put it in and knows the consequences, yes, we should find them and punish them so that there's an example set to other people who might do that. But I do think that just because my parents just assume the dealer put it in. And I go, but the dealer got it from someone.
Yeah.
So maybe it was that person. So it doesn't end. I always want my parents to know, like, if I die, don't avenge my death, because I guarantee if someone murders me, they had a fucking terrible childhood that they were probably physically abused. Like, murder their parents, murder their grandparents, like, whoever does the thing, like, and eye for an eye doesn't work. Like, I
was listening to
I don't know, my mom was like, no one can do drugs, no one can do coke or heroin, and my sister goes, oh, yeah, we know. She goes, no. She goes, we can't do coke or heroin, you guys. This is scary, this fentanyl. We're Googling it, and she's like, my God. And I go, it's so funny to me, because my sister and I are both like, why would we do coke or heroin? She goes, I don't mean us. I mean just like anyone. And I'm like, yeah, we everyone kind of knows that. But she is right. Like, the fentanyl thing is out of this world.
That's how Mac Miller died. And I was listening to Michael K. Williams, who just actually passed away.
Yeah.
Who knows what was in his... I think it was heroin, though, but it might have been laced with fentanyl. Who knows? He was talking about The Wire, and that's really what they wanted to show with The Wire, is that, like, no one wanted... To what you're saying. Like, no one wants to be a drug dealer.
No.
And it's their environment that pushes them there. They don't wake up and go, hey, I want to fucking... ruin people's
No
lives.
one wants to be in a gang. A lot of times they have no choice. They'll get
outfits are
beat up
cool.
and murdered
Yeah.
if they don't join the gang. And then you hate people for being in a gang. But it's like, if you were born, you white privileged motherfucker who thinks these people chose to be in a gang and like they're bad inherently, and that you would have done the same thing if you were born in their situation. So stop this whole thing of like, I wouldn't do that if I were them. Yes, you would. It's called empathy. Realize you have a different brain, you have different parents, you have a different socioeconomic status that you were born into, and yes, you have things in your life that the gang members should empathize with. The fact that you can't fucking understand why they would be gang members, they should empathize with the fact that your brain's so fucked up that you can't have empathy. Like, we all need to extend it all
if you're
the time.
in a biker gang, just admit that the outfits are cute. I just love biker gangs, how tough they are, but they're all wearing leather together. I don't know. It's just so cute.
It's always funny for people who act like they don't give a shit, or they're so like, against the grain. Like even Chappelle wearing a jumper.
Yeah.
That's always my example of like this guy who apparently doesn't give a shit. He chose a onesie that he buttons up. That's a guy who cares. He made patches with his name on them that everyone in his entourage wears. That's a guy who cares what you think about him.
Yes.
And I think he would even admit that himself.
Even the Edge comic would say that. Okay.
Oh, Edge.
He's staying away, though, for now. He might come.
Oh, yeah.
Studies of regret show that people are more inclined to regret the things they don't do rather than the things they do. Which is interesting, because usually when you talk about regret, you're like, I fucking regret fucking doing coke that night and ending up in the ER. I regret this. But then it's not like... But then, yeah, so like the things you didn't do, whether it's like what maybe you didn't study in college, what you actually really wanted to do.
It's almost like the deathbed thing. People say they don't regret... what people say on their deathbed is not what they
did.
It's what they didn't do.
Like being with family more,
right?
Being more present, like all these things that like.
If you died tomorrow, what would be a regret of yours?
Living in St. Louis. No, I'm trying to.
Never answering a question sincerely.
Yes, sincerely though. Noah, how dare you? It's the first time I.
Noah, do you feel like I think of regrets in my life, and I'm like, it's when I've hurt people that I love.
3 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Let me think. What would I regret not doing, or just
or believe? I regret not reading a book that someone recommended to me that would have changed my perspective on something. I regret.
I probably regret not getting closer with my grandparents while they were around. I feel like my brother did a much better job with that.
What are you missing out on now because of that, you think?
Stories, understanding where I come from, like why maybe I behave a certain way, why I like a certain thing, what they had to go through, struggles, which might make me appreciate more what I have.
Don't you have a grandma that's still alive? Can't you actually?
Oh, no, I wouldn't call her.
Oh, you wouldn't call her?
No. I'm just trying not to be sincere. She's 100 and she has dementia and she doesn't really know where she is.
She might have stories though,
From
they're just
3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but yes, so I could, I could do that with my mom too. And I don't do it.
Yeah, regretting what I guess my regret is what I've done. It's not what I haven't done. So I'm trying to think of what I haven't done that I regret. And it's probably like no, it wouldn't be like that. It would be like I regret not apologizing for things. Like the other day I apologized to someone that I felt like I had wronged before, and I was able to reach out and like, because I thought like, what if I die?
What made you want to do that? And how long ago was
we were like talking about this person, and I knew that I had like past beef with them, and I was just like, this person I actually really respect, and I like, and I was able to see through their work that they've been through a lot of struggle and that their life isn't anything. I was able to empathize with the person and be like, whatever I assumed about this person, they actually are they have their own story, what brought them to however I judged them. And
how did they react?
They accepted it and were like, thank you. And then it was just like good to go. So the next time I see this person, it's not going to be weird. And it's just, I don't expect to be best friends or like, like chummy every time we see each other. But now I just took accountability for being a twat, And
did they feel like you were an actual twat, or was it more in your head? Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes when you're like, I gotta owe that person an apology, and they must be thinking about this, or it must be.
They thought I was a twat for sure. Yeah. They did, and they should have. Like it was that was one that was, I went ahead and did only because I was like, I would regret this if I died, and that never got tied up, or they died. And also because I was exposed to some of their work that let me in a little bit more and showed me the struggle that person came from. And I just was like filled with a lot of love for that person and like, wow, thank you. They shared something really vulnerable. That person isn't what I thought. And I shouldn't make assumptions about people ever. And it's so hard not to do. And Noah, what about you?
The thing that comes to mind is, I guess I wish that I wasn't such like a hermit in my 20s. I was so, I don't know, like antisocial, and I had a lot of like fun opportunities that I could have made more of. And that's my regret.
I got invited to go to the Grateful Dead concert last night. And John Mayer is like Dead and Company. John Mayer was there. And I turned it down because I just didn't feel like standing all night. I'm going to the concert tonight. And I turned it down, and I wrote the person later being like, I really regret I didn't go. I really regret it because it would have been fun. I haven't been to that venue in a while. It's now named something. It's named like the American Casino Stages, and I thought it was like going to be some casino like venue indoors, but it's Riverport. It's the place I went to go see Dave Matthews as a teen. Like it would have been nostalgic. But then I reasoned that there was a reason I didn't go, and the reason is that I could have been in a car crash there, or like on the way there or the way back. Like who knows what I avoided?
Rest. You just needed rest.
I needed to watch a 9/11 documentary with you and learn how we got to a place where the Taliban hated us.
And then we put on Scenes from Marriage, and I was like, this
Scenes
is
from
worse
a
than
Marriage.
9/11.
Scenes from Marriage. Oh my God, that
intense.
I kind of liked it. I can't wait for the next episode. Actually, all right, we'll take a short break and come back with Why Do I Care?
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. So if disaster shows up at your doorstep, you'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Enrique Santos, co-host of the new podcast, SOS Cuba. As a proud Cubano, it's important for me to use my platform to inform others. That's why I'm teaming up with my friend, Telemundo journalist Jose Diaz-Balart, for a 6-episode show that explores the anti-government demonstrations in the communist-run island. We're discussing the history of our beloved Cuba, what led to the recent protests, and why people are calling for change. A group of special guests weigh in on what's next for our Comunidad Cubana, and what does U.S. involvement look like, and why the words Patria y Vida resonate so strongly at this moment. Listen to SOS Cuba as part of the My Cultura podcast network, available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Did you know there are thousands of active cults in America today?
Political cults, sex cults, acting class cults.
But do you ever wonder, who are the individuals who get manipulated into them? I'm Liz Iacuzzi.
I'm Tyler Meesom. Was I in a Cult is a documentary podcast showcasing the raw, dynamic, and inspiring firsthand stories of individuals who got in.
And most importantly, got out of a cult.
The truth is, cults are never what they seem.
Because what you sign up for is not what you get.
This is what happens. God sends a she-bear.
They'll find a way to sedate you. Sometimes you would hear kids being beat for it seemed like hours.
I remember people literally running out of the class screaming.
Go into the temple and have roast beef with Jesus.
So we then turned our calorie deficit into something that meant more because Keith likes his girls skinny.
Why are people so obsessed with cults?
Maybe because it could happen to anyone.
And we should know.
Because it happened to us. Listen to Was I in a Cult every Wednesday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
9/11, 2 decades later, is a limited series podcast that looks back 20 years since the attacks of 9/11 and features those who were in the inner sanctum of our country's government.
I didn't know if I was going to have a job. I didn't know. It just seemed like the world was coming to an end. It was that horrific.
9/11, 2 decades later, explores the state of our security and asks the question, are we safer today than 20 years ago?
I don't think so. I wish I could answer it differently, but I don't think so. I think those in charge these days need to spend more time communicating.
Exclusive content with insight from security experts and aviation specialists.
The terrorists are always going to hit the weakest link. And
Aviation at the time was the weakest link, and no one had the imagination to think that could be done like that. And of course, the screening was a big part of it. All the screening that we're doing now.
Why do I care? All right, why do I care, Andrew?
This is big news. Are you sitting?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at me.
I don't know. I thought you could be floating. You sure?
I'm sitting.
All right. Kanye West follows Kim Kardashian back on Instagram.
I haven't heard this. Usually I know what's going on with Why Do I Care? Oh my God.
Yeah. So the big thing, I guess, with celebrities now is when you know it's really over, is they unfollow.
That's
or
been a
their
while.
assistant does. But yeah.
All right. Well, that is the mother of his children. Someone pointed out the other day on Demois subreddit that there's an interest. They go, what's like an interesting fact you've realized about celebrities that no one's noticed? And someone said that all of the Kardashians only have babies with one man.
Oh.
Even when they're not like actually on good terms. Like there's something about that family that goes, we're not going to, except the mother. I mean, obviously, Robert Kardashian died, so she couldn't do, so she went over to
Wait, were they divorced before he died?
Yes.
Oh.
I believe so, yes.
I don't know. I'm not like trying to quiz you. I'm just.
I think they were, but Khloe had a baby with
Lamar. No,
Tristan.
Thompson.
Yeah, two different babies, I think. And then Kylie is now having another baby with her baby daddy. But there's speculation that they aren't really on good terms. Scott Disick, that guy, like that's an interesting thing that I would have never put together. So I think that Kim will maybe continue to have babies with Kanye, even if they don't have a
How many kids do they have
working
now?
relationship.
Like 3 or 4, right?
Saint, Chicago, North, maybe 3, and then another one maybe that they did surrogacy. I don't know. But what I do know is, I mean, that doesn't. She was like promoting Donda and like kind of celebrating him a lot. So I don't know that they're over, but I mean, I guess I don't care. I really don't care. You know what I did like was Machine Gun Kelly. Did you see his lyrics that he posted that he performed at the VMAs?
About being a daddy?
No, he was talking about like, he was like, I'm a genius. I could have made
wrote
Donda.
Donda, but I made this for my dead father.
Yeah. He to say that, to make a claim that he could have done. I haven't listened to Donda, have you?
I listened to some of it. It's a little Jesus-y for me.
Mm-hmm.
I do love his last album, which we've listened to a ton.
Yeah.
You know, and then Reborn was a great song. The one he did with Kid Cudi, the Kids See Ghosts. But I don't know, it's getting a little preachy. It's like they're starting, and Bieber does it too. There's like a line between like, when is Christian rock? When does it become too much Christian rock?
I don't even think Kanye I think he thinks he's Jesus. There's no way that Kanye will think that someone's better than him, even Jesus, I feel. So it's weird to me that he would even uphold a guy. Like, I don't know. I feel like Kanye thinks he's Jesus. And that's a common thing for people with his mental illness condition to think.
Well, I think there's like,
but I haven't heard Donda. I don't know anything about
people become like very like strictly religious after they've maybe had a lot of past like bullshit that they've done or past like mistakes, and so they go the other way. You know what I mean? It's
they find God, and Jesus forgives, and so all of the things that you've done, like it's such a nice thing when you do. I found God too, not Jesus, but God, and like it does. Like I was talking to my friend last night, and I was lamenting about boy stuff, and she was just like, "Well, God has God's gonna take care of it. It's all gonna go." And it was just like, oh, good. I don't have to fucking worry. Like for whatever reason, it just makes you not. There's so much of what we do, so much of the bad that comes in the world, I think, is from shame and feeling like you're responsible for the way you act and what you do. And my sense of God is no free will, like whatever I was born into, like it's just gonna happen. It's already gonna happen. It's already in place. I can't change. I don't get to pick how I think.
Like your God, there should be like a different word for it, because like when I think God, I think religion, and what you're talking about seems like a higher being,
power. Yeah, that's that's what I mean by God.
Without having any.
It's not like an entity. I just believe like there's something it's not in my control, and when I lose control, I can calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Like when I used to be sleepless for weeks because of nuclear war, and I saw a movie The Day After Tomorrow in 8th grade, and it ruined my life because I was like, any second I could just turn into a flashing skeleton, and like we are like gonna live in a world where there's no electricity and famine and we all have sores on our faces. It was like, I just couldn't handle it. And then one day went down to my parents' room, 8th grade, gonna sleep on their floor. And I was like, Mom and Dad, I like cracked open the door because I was always scared that they were gonna have sex. Or I'd be walking into them having sex. And I was just like, my dad just goes, what? And I was just like, I just can't sleep. I can't stand the fact that there could be a nuclear war. Like someone could press a button and then we could all evaporate. And he's like, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. And I just shut the door and went to bed for the rest of my, like, I never thought about it again because he took away my sense of control, which I never had. It's an illusion anyway that you have control over anything.
Do you think like Trump's dad was like, you're going to handle the codes one day? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting that your dad,
but that's
I'm
what
glad
God
your
does.
dad went that way.
God, the idea of God
Yeah.
takes away the sense of control you think you have. Because when you think you have control, it might make you feel like you feel better, but it actually makes you feel worse because when things go wrong, you are to blame. You're fundamentally wrong. Something you did. You're a bad person.
I feel that so much these days, especially on stage. Like, I feel like such a relief for some reason of like not caring what the audience like what I think they'll think is funny.
Right.
And it's just like, and it's the same thing in life. It's like,
Yeah.
don't do things because you think that person's going to react a certain way to you. Do it because that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
Like,
if I bomb now and I remember God, I just remember like this was meant to happen. Like I never had a choice to not bomb. Well, you could have prepared more. No, I couldn't have. That was part of the plan too.
Yeah.
Well, why does John Mulaney get to be always so funny and successful and never not prepare? Because that's his plan. It's not yours. Like that's what God had in store for him, not what he had in store for you. He also has a lot of bullshit in store for John Mulaney that you can project a lot of perfection onto him, but you know,
Yeah.
so that's what I try to remember it's not my fault. Everything is not my fault. Literally anything that happens. And yeah, so that's how I feel about it. Let's get to the Reddit dump. But it's hard to remember. God damn it, is it hard to remember that things aren't my fault.
Karaoke mode.
This is your Reddit dump. All right, so this is where I go on Reddit at night. You guys get it, and I save things that I want to share with you. Okay, this was from Ask Reddit, my favorite subreddit, that said, what makes you the happiest? What gives you genuine happiness? And I just want to read some of the answers that people had, because these are always the ones that make me happy. Someone said, seeing people enjoy food that I cooked, especially seeing my fiance smile when she eats my from scratch chocolate chip cookies. I would never get enjoyment from that.
What do
Like
you mean,
cooking and then
seeing
feeding someone. It's just I'm so glad that people have enjoyment from things that would bring me zip.
I do love
That's beautiful.
when someone makes the cookies and they go, how are the cookies? They do.
Or what about
cookies
when they
good?
go, am I a good golfer?
Am I a good golfer?
Yeah, same thing.
Is the cookies good that I made out of golf clubs?
This person said, I think it may be the only time I'm ever genuinely happy when I am in that state of going to sleep where I think, but at the same time I am neither asleep nor awake. It feels like I'm entirely detached from the physical world, free of fear and pain. And someone wrote, and this is the most upvoted comment on the whole thread. Someone replied to that, don't try heroin. And everyone goes, yeah, if you love that feeling, if you resonate with that, don't fucking touch heroin because you'll never stop. Someone said, watching my cat get stuck somewhere stupid, then yelling for help. The best place so far was in a cabinet over the stove. Being outside with no people around, live in a city, and I get up super early and just walk around before everyone else is out. Best part of my
nice.
day.
Yeah.
So those were nice. Someone said, this is from White People Twitter. This was a tweet that I enjoyed. It said, it's 1990. This is from Limitless Jest on Twitter. Limitless Jest. It's 1998. You have a Nintendo 64 with GoldenEye. You just ordered pizza with extra cheese. Your friends are coming over and you have 4 Rumble Packs. You don't know it right now, but this is as good as life will ever get. And I just I don't relate to that, but I relate to the cheese pizza, friends coming over. It's 1998.
Yeah,
I remember being like, but I knew. I was like, I would witness adults and go, that sucks.
Yeah.
This is it.
You just get some Star Crunches with your friends.
You eat with
Twinkie.
abandon. There's no I'm going to feel fat tomorrow. There's no, and I'm not assuming that kids don't feel that way. I didn't in 1998, not yet at least. But I saw this video yesterday on Instagram, on the Reels thing, the TikTok-y thing on Instagram. And there was this little girl crying in her, she's probably 4, and she's just like, I don't want to be an adult. And she's crying. She's sobbing because someday she has to be an adult. And her mom goes, I don't want to be an adult either. She goes, you have to. She goes, I don't even want to be a teenager. It just feels like a jail. It looks like a prison. And it was so.
How is that kid so aware, dude? That's like an older person inside. That's
what I used to say. I used to wake up in the middle of the night and go to my parents' room and go, I don't know how to write a check. When am I going to learn that? How am I going to learn that? Like, I used to freak out. This was probably 4th grade. And my parents go, you'll learn it. And I go, is there a class about how to write checks? Because I have no idea how I'm going to do that. And guess what? I still don't know how to write. I don't know how to balance a checkbook or anything like that.
Venmo's there.
Okay, this one's good. This is on Ask Men. What is the most shallowest deal breaker that you hold secretly? This person says, I'll go first and I say with no disrespect, piercings. Just can't think of anyone who I found attractive when they had piercings.
Any piercing?
I think they mean anything beyond like
beyond ears. Yeah.
Someone corpse manufacturer says, really nasal voices. I'm fine with almost everything from Morgan Freeman to those really squeaky and childish tones. But the moment you start talking like a basic bitch from 2000s bad teen movies, I'm out. I feel really ashamed. Most people can't help it, but I'm unable to take people seriously with it. Someone said, how loud they chew food. Someone said gum to tooth ratio. If there's too much gum, I can't.
Yeah, I can't either, actually.
Really?
That's something that gets to me for some reason.
A gummy smile, like little teeth and too much gums?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I only have gum, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's a little bit hypocritical.
Yeah, hey, look, I'm just telling.
Someone said, I took this one personally, fake tan obsession. Yes, it's shallow, but it's a look I personally do not find attractive in any way. Well, I guarantee you that person would like me more when I'm tan than pale.
But only for 4 days of that tan.
Yeah, someone said weird knees. You can be a straight dime, but if your knees are weird, then I'm out.
Everyone has weird knees.
I know. Mine look like they have African elephants on them.
Yeah, or some people have babies inside their knees. It's like souls of dead people.
Yeah, someone said, yeah, that's so true. There's dragon talon nails. Someone said if they scrape their cutlery against the plates when they eat, or they bite the cutlery when eating. Someone said outie belly buttons. Someone goes, y'all don't understand the word shallow. Shallow is not people who smell awful or have horrible personalities. Shallow is not dating women with big noses or eczema or tattoos or something. Someone says if you leave toast crumbs in the butter, I'm fucking out the door.
Whoa, toast crumbs in the butter.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to date that person.
What do you have any? You said gums.
Gum. Well, like physical things or more.
I mean, shallow stuff that they probably can't control.
I mean, it's shallow, but I'm getting over it. But when a woman has like a happy trail, a little like 3 hairs, I just like I zone in on them, and I don't know why.
What does it mean to you?
That I'm about to blow a guy.
Oh, it's masculine to you? Maybe?
No, I don't. I guess so. Maybe. Yeah. It's just for some reason, but I'm kind of I'm very close to over all those like shallow things, at least, or getting closer. It's not getting worse with age. It's me understanding more later on. What about no chin? You don't.
Let's get into final thought. The thing about no chin is I thought that was one of my deal breakers, but the thing is I've fallen in love with someone who just didn't really have the had a
decent chin.
Yeah, but it wasn't like. I just realized now I can be in love with anything. Like, I just don't have any physical deal breakers. Certainly when I'm just bumbling or something, I'm just like, like anything like that. But, you know.
In real life.
Yeah, someone that, like, I don't know what my deal breakers are. It's honestly, someone with, like, that's too fit. Like, that spends too much time at the gym. That's too, that
gym
eats
culture.
Grilled chicken and asparagus and like just,
breaks it up during the week.
Yeah, I just don't want to, I just beat my eating disorder. I don't want to have to beat yours too. Some guy that,
what about bald? You don't mind bald?
People that, anyone that's not shallow, but like voting for Trump or being friends with people that like bald doesn't bother me. I guess like when people
what about facial hair, mustache?
Not being open to being vegan. And that's not shallow, actually. That's just like I don't, if someone just is like, I'll never do it, it's just like or they like don't see that it's wrong. Like just acknowledge that like I'm right, you know? in that scenario. Like, there's just no doubt about it. That's what I always say about being vegan. That's the best part about it is there's no way we're not right. That's the best part. You don't have to agree with us, but there's just no way we're not right that we just like want animals to live. It cannot be argued against. But I'm trying to think of deal breakers. Do you have any, Noah? I just lost half of our listeners, by the way, by saying that.
I'll get them back. There's nothing better than a nice cheeseburger overlooking Nebraska on the back of a truck.
I'm going to put on my tank top.
Get it up.
I try to be tolerant, and I can't really think of anything shallow that would be a deal breaker today, but I used to be obsessed with guys with long hair, and then I dated one, and his hair routine was way too long and way too specific, and that turned me off so much.
It's like the
after
gym
that.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, after that, I just couldn't date guys with long hair anymore. And I mean long hair, not shoulder, like long hair.
Oh, like bass player for a heavy metal band.
Yeah, like down to the butt.
And they so did they condition it? Would you have to blow dry it? They don't even blow dry their hair.
Do you have to put it back to eat you out? Like, I like the idea of a guy.
That's a happy trail. Oh yeah, like if you put his hair in a ponytail, would you start getting wet? Because you knew he was about to. That's what guys like. There's a Pavlov's dog response that guys get boners when girls put up their ponytails because it's
so
generally
true.
That's so funny. I never put up my hair to blow someone.
Really? What do you do with it?
I just like.
You have a lot of hair now.
I just go like this and I like kind of go like twist it or something,
stay up?
or I just like blow them with my. Oh, I guess if they're laying
But then the
down,
hair will get in your mouth and everything.
I just like.
If you're if I'm on my back, your hair will get in your own mouth and. No?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really think about it. I never like put it back, but yeah. I'm trying to think of deal breakers I have. Jesus Christ. That's a hard one because you don't even know it till you see it. But I think that, not liking Veep. Like being like, it's watching Veep or 30 Rock and being like, no. It's just like, yeah, to each their own, but you have a bad own.
I mean, on the same thing, if you love like Law and Order or CSI, I probably.
Oh my God.
Like you.
This one, oh really? That's every girl, dude. What the fuck?
Well, you're dead to me.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, like, if you probably love those shows, you probably don't love Veep.
No, that's not true. People love those shows.
I'd like to see a diagram of people that love, like,
people love those
Boardwalk
shows.
Empire.
The smartest people love Law and Order.
Really?
True. Oh yeah, like most.
Maybe I haven't given it a chance.
John Mulaney's bit about Law and Order.
Should I try Law and Order?
You would be obsessed with it, dude. I mean, I don't like it because I don't really care. I just have never gotten into it, but people I respect love it. This one is a great one on Reddit. It's from Cringetopia, the subreddit Cringetopia. It's just cringy things. And this is a TikTok. The girl says, this dude at the bar trying to pick up my friend with his Wells Fargo account. So he pulled up his app to show his bank account. Now look at this. You just lost your life. 92,826. He repeats it to her and he goes, she's just like, no. And he goes, well, you just lost in life.
It's also like not even like fuck you money. Like I love that that's like.
And you know that his dad, someone in his
just
life just died and he got that and took it to, like, this wasn't just earned throughout hard work. This guy just, because he's just so excited to have that. That is so, I love it so much.
There was something about having to go to the ATM all the time, like only like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And you'd always see what's in your bank. Every day you're reminded of whether you're rich or poor. You know what I mean? Like every day you look down on that piece of paper and you're like, ugh. And then I saw like my...
Oh, I would always say no. I don't want to see it. I would click no.
You wouldn't want the paper receipt?
Never.
Because of recycling or just because?
No, because I didn't want to see it. I mean, even now, if I have money, the only time I was able to look at my bank account ever when I was super broke, and even now, but I don't drink anymore, was when I was drunk. I would sometimes go in and go, okay, you can see it.
Oh, okay.
I was so scared of that number.
To see your savings account?
Yeah.
You haven't looked at it? There's something about the tangibleness of it is be like, oh yeah, that's money. Like, because money's, when you feel actual cash, which we never do anymore.
Yeah. But that number, sometimes I see the number and I go, because I so rarely look at it, sometimes it really disappoints me because I thought it was higher. Or,
yeah.
And sometimes I just don't know that there's other accounts that have stuff in it. Like, I will say there are people that know what my money is. and those people are making sure that it's not stolen from me. But man, if those people were in my life, wouldn't notice. I would never notice. It's really it's a problem. It's like that's something
this
that
is how like rich people get money stolen from them.
Yeah. I mean, and then there are other people that are like they know I bet like your brother, even though he has a lot of money, I bet he knows where all of it is and how much it is. Like, I bet he's fastidious about it. Whereas I don't want to know if I have it or don't. Like, it stresses me out if I do. It stresses me out if I don't. I really got to work on it. It's not good.
Yeah. It's a weird thing that we put so much emotion on a number, or like.
And I'm so much, I love spending. I like spending money on people better than myself. Like, I'll buy myself cheap stuff and my like birthday gifts, presents. It's always like the most expensive brand because I want people in my life to have the best of the thing. But I always get
But if you don't want that, what makes you think they want that?
Because people do want the best thing.
I just want 10 more Hanes colors.
No, would you rather me get you a Hanes sweatshirt or a Buck Mason?
To be honest, where I'm at right now mentally.
Yeah.
Give me 4 Hanes over $2.
No. It's either it's not the same amount of money. I'm either spending a lot of money or not.
I think I'd rather have the Hanes. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
I think at this point.
All right. Well,
now,
message received.
But in a month.
42nd birthday.
I'll take a Tesla.